And we'll never say a bad thing about it. But we will have a siren, though. But other than that, we can just keep it positive.
Yep. Positive vibes. All right. We're in here.
I hope I'm not on. I'm getting a delay here. This is crazy. Are we on live?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Testing mic. Hey, Keisha, how are you? How are you, Keisha? Welcome back. Apple Crescent, how you doing?
What's up, Apple Crescent? How you doing? How you feeling? It's so lovely to know that you're in the room, Apple Crescent. It's lovely.
So I was telling Danny that I was on a little earlier and talking about, relationships.
Yeah, things have changed.
I don't think you were on earlier. I don't know if you got a chance to see what I'm speaking about, but yeah, I was on a little earlier. Said I was going to come back, and I'm glad I did. Got a chance to wrestle up Danny, and Mike was on just a second ago. He had to go walk the dog. And Maurice, I believe, is coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many interesting changes that have happened nowadays. And I see a lot of women asking their husbands to marry them, their fiancés, to their men to become fiancés. That's the proper wording. It's happening so much. I see a lot of videos out of these proposals. And it's really fascinating. Everything has changed. The roles have reversed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any script on love or attraction. I mean, it shouldn't be. Everybody should be kind of, committed to an energy and just say, hey, this is how I feel. Because moments come and moments go. If you don't,
this is love.
If you don't act on it, then it could be something that plays you for the rest of your life. Say, what would have happened? I wonder if.
Absolutely. If it's love, then it's okay.
Yeah. And if it's not, it's okay. And if it's not, it's okay. If it's a simple date or want to grab a burger.
Oh yeah, especially for the show.
Yeah.
For the show, even just someone who wants a companion, or maybe just a pen pal, or maybe just someone who's fascinated in meeting another person. They find it fascinating in meeting another person, getting to know that person, even if it's just texting back and forth a little bit. Some people just want companions. Some people want, friendship. A lot of people want more. It depends what they want. Some people want marriage. So it's interesting. A lot of the women are purchasing rings, but I have questions regarding it, meaning that they're asking the men to marry them. I have some questions like who who wears who do they buy the ring for? Do they buy the ring for themselves, or do they buy the ring both for themselves and for the man? And if they're buying a ring for themselves, do they buy an expensive one? Is it the same budget that a man would use? What are the rules? I don't know what the rules are.
Well, I think the big underlying factor is that it's an equal playing field. So once that's determined, that it's normal for a man to do what a woman does and a woman does what a man does in terms of an attraction. I think it just no. I think that should go for everything. An unchauvinistic view. Everybody's equal. So therefore, if a woman wants to pay, if she wants to break the bank and get everything under the sun and a huge ring or whatever for the man, then that's her prerogative. You
So if
know.
everything is equal, Tommy, does that mean the woman should buy the man the more expensive ring? Because usually in an equal relationship, no, I'm sorry, in a traditional relationship, it was kind of unequal, meaning that the man would buy the woman the diamond ring and he would buy himself the less expensive ring, let's say a nice gold ring. So do those roles become reversed, or do they purchase the same rings for both parties? How does it work? Does the man get a diamond ring, or does the man still get a gold ring, or do they both get gold rings, or is it the same? I don't know.
I
I just
guess
want to know what the
it
rule.
would be about a prerogative at that point. If they have a discussion, or if the woman, if the lady knows that the man is into diamonds and she chooses to get him a diamond studded ring or band, so be it. I'm just saying that once it's determined that it's an equal playing field and they can do whatever they want to do, and which I think is appropriate. I think love is love. I think life is short. I think people are people. And, we spoke about employment before, and this would be a good conversation for something like that to break into. I remember we discussed, um, and my stance was a woman, a woman in a marriage or relationship. I don't see anything wrong with a woman working. I think that it's good. I think that it empowers people when you work, when you're a viable asset to the household. You feel a person may feel, I can't say that somebody else feels, but I'm saying how I feel is I feel as though you have a stake in the direction of the home front. You have not just a stake by taking care and keeping up with the house, but also with regard to the financial progression of the household. And I think that I don't think that there's any rule. There should be any restriction on the man or the woman going out if they care to get a job or be a contributor financially to do that. I think that they should be able to. Anybody should be able to work, or anybody should be able to stay home. It should be determined within the household and case by case. What do you think?
I think by nature, a man wants to be out. A man wants to be outside. It's just our nature to go around and to travel and to be adventurous. It's just man's nature to do that. So if you're going against nature, you would confine the man to the home. But then again, I don't want to say that it's absolute. There might be some men that enjoy staying home all day. You never know. You think there are some men that would enjoy staying home all day and let's say performing childcare and watching TV, childcare, cleaning the house. Would men enjoy that?
I think that,
Not all. I'm just saying, would some maybe? Would
well,
some enjoy it? I'm not saying all.
I think that,
I'm being fair and unbiased.
yeah, I think that it's not a matter of would they enjoy it. I think that staying home and being able to perform such duties as taking care of a house, securing the welfare of the kids, and
Right.
sustaining all the responsibilities of keeping your house is a talent. I think it's a talent. I think that, not everybody can do that. I think that you have to have a lot of patience. You have to have a lot of nurturing aspects about your behaviors, and you have to be durable, built to last. And I think that men, a male or a female, is qualified for doing such a job. Um, but I think it comes down to what kind of talent are they talented enough to take hold of that responsibility and that duty, because it is truly a duty. Staying home and taking on kids. You know, I personally couldn't tell you, but I could tell you through my walks and through my sisters and family and friends that it's tough. And I admire those people who could stay home and do that. If a man does it, I commend him. I think that it's great. I think that that's extra great because they're going where many men like yourself say, you know, it's not. It's almost as if I believe that you're saying it's not normal, I guess, for historically for a man to stay home. And truly, I don't think that history has any part of it. I think that it's a matter of a personal choice. Marriage is a commitment. A relationship is isolated within that couple. And if they deem that the husband is better equipped to stay home, and then that's their choice. Um, I wouldn't I wouldn't step into anybody's marriage or shoes to try to.
We got to get somebody on the show that is a stay-home husband. Does anybody out there know any stay-home husbands? I mean, I know a single dad who takes care of his kids, but he also works a little bit. I know a DJ. He always brags about being a single dad. Absolutely, either parent can stay home.
Turn,
Have a mom.
turn, turn your mic down a little bit, Danny, just a little bit. Turn your mic down a little bit. See if we don't get the feedback.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah, I have Apple Crescent says absolutely either parent can stay home. And a mom, uh, I'm a mom, a school teacher, career, and more. But my child's dad can do it as well. It's what's best for the child.
Yeah, it's all based. Yeah, everybody, it's all based on situation. I mean, a lot of times people have two income families, and sometimes one may lose a position or what have you, and it's just it's a dual role. I mean, for me personally, my wife has always been taking care of the twins. When I'm at work now, I work out of the house, so it's still pretty much always her. I mean, I'm helping more, of course, because I'm home, but yeah, it's whatever it takes. You know, that's my philosophy on it. It's whatever it takes, man, woman, it doesn't matter to me. Just matters.
So Apple Crescent says it's not going against nature. It's called progression. Okay, so let me ask you this, Apple Crescent. When you buy a pet from whoever, let's say a beautiful parrot, and you stick it in the cage and you don't allow it to spread its natural wings, is that called progression when you just keep it in the cage? Because now it's in a nice house, It has better food than it has out in the wild. It's more expensive food. I don't know if it's better food, but expensive food, and it's nice and clean. The cage is expensive. Even the house is expensive. And even the music is great. Is that progression, or is that going against nature? By confining the parrot to the cage, never letting him out.
I don't know how. Wait, how does that
Are
relate?
we are we are we looking at that in comparison to humans, the pet
Yeah, I'm making
situation?
an analogy with humans. Yes, I am.
So the man is being kept.
If you
I
think
guess
it's
the
an
man is
unfair
being.
analogy, that's fine. I'll think of another one. But
Yeah, I guess what you're saying, the man is asphyxiated or stifled because he's staying in the house and that's out of his zone. The man needs to be out making the money. Is that? I mean,
no,
is
I'm
that?
just talking about pure nature. Is it going against nature when you confine a parrot to a cage, never let it free fly? And some people let their parrots free fly, they train them. But if not free fly, I don't know, maybe let it out of its cage. I mean, it's natural. Really, it's natural for a parrot to fly. It's very natural. So is it progressing by keeping him in that beautiful home? Is that progression, or is it going against nature? Well, let me read some comments here. Not a good analogy. Flying around, let the bird fly around in the house. But there's not enough room to fly around in the house like they could fly outside in the Amazon where they fly for miles. The house doesn't go for miles. I had to go make a cup of coffee. Yeah, I should go make a cup of coffee. But then I'll be gone. I can't do that. Don't even attempt to trap my men in a cage either. LOL. So if we can get, the only way to find out is to interview husbands and wives, or maybe even girlfriends and boyfriends who have that situation where, let's say, the one spouse watches the kids. Maybe the man watches the kids, let's say. It's the only way we're really going to know. Yeah, because I want to try to keep an open mind here. You could tell I'm slanted, but I'm trying to keep an open mind. If there's proof, send the proof. So we're going to have a fine dating show. I've been working on the music.
Nice.
I can't wait for this dating show. We're going to have singers on the show. We're going to sing love songs. If we have any singers in the audience, just let us know in the chat. We're
You'll
not
never.
sure what we're going to do, but let us know anyway.
We gotta get some Lou Rawls going.
There's a
What
question for you.
about, someone's asking, what about gay dads who stay home? I don't know. We're going to have to ask the kids how they feel about it.
Doesn't really matter. It's their parents. Who cares? As long as they're loved and taken care of, what else does it matter? Nothing. Doesn't matter. I mean, to me personally, I don't care what you do in your bedroom. It doesn't mean a single thing to me. What matters is that you have a healthy household, you have a positive environment, you have lots of love, encouragement, and you allow your children to prosper and grow and be the best that they can be. That's it.
Yay.
Right? Gay, this, that, sleep with dogs, sleep with this, farm animal. I don't care what the hell you do. Well, not all that stuff. Right? I'm making a joke, but it doesn't matter. Heterosexual, homosexual, who cares? Doesn't matter. Be the best human being that you could be. That's it.
Well, there are some cases of
Yeah.
people who married their pets. You know that, right?
Oh, really?
Yes.
No, I did not know that. I mean, I know kids who love their stuffed animals when they're 4 and 5 years old. But other than that, I don't know much more than that.
There are cases of there are cases of women marrying themselves, and there are also cases of women marrying pets. I don't know. Maybe men married pets too. I haven't seen
I,
those, but it could be. I'm not going
Hey,
to say
Miss
there's not, but
Photogenic.
I've seen women marrying their pets.
well, maybe
Kids
in
don't
a
take care. They
ceremonial
just know
thing,
there's
maybe,
a pet.
but not legally, obviously. But listen, you know, as long as you're not hurting anybody, that's, you know, Miss Photogenic. Kids don't care. They just know that's their parent. Absolutely.
Kids don't care. They just know that they're
Careless.
a parent. But you have to ask the kids when they grow up to really know.
Yeah, I don't even think it would even matter in the theory of it. I don't think it would even matter. Your mom is your mom, your dad is your dad, or your dad and your dad, or your mom, whatever it may be. It's, you know, I think what kids remember and people remember is the traumas of everything as far as on the negative. If they had a very bad environment, if they were abused, if, you know, but if they were loved so much that it oozed out of every pore of their body, theoretically, you know, and they got all the best of the best of everything and encouragement and wisdom and everything. And I really don't think it means anything. It may be a little bit different, maybe in social situations, maybe as you get older, maybe. But honestly, I don't think it means anything in this day and age. And for the people that it does, that's your opinion. I just, you know, my personal thought is I could care less as long as you're, you know, the best human being you can be. You're not hurting anybody. If you're doing the wrong things, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're doing the right things, it doesn't matter who you are, right? You know, so that's just my theory on it. I feel like we're on a real discussion group here. That's very nice. That's why I'm doing my.
Hey, Eric Ruffin. Good evening.
Hey, Eric Ruffin Sr. How are you? Sure. Yeah. Right. Biggest thing. Hold on. If you think competition is, then you might have a. Not competition. If you think parenting is, absolutely. Apple, you are so right. You know that means the individual. In this scenario, if you feel you're in competition, then you're just insecure within yourself and you're not feeling confident. You know, everybody brings something to the table. It's like the old adage: it takes a village to raise a child, right? Why does it take a village to raise a child? Because everybody has their genius, everybody has their attributes, everybody has something to give, and to be able to allow that child to grow to be the best that it can be. So let's see. KRG 5A. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I say what works and makes it comfortable for you. True. Yep. I gotta get better. I'm like all the way in here. Let's see. Kids that are raised by saints don't see it as strange or different. They're just family. That's right. They just have two dads. That's right. Absolutely. So anyway.
Hey, Miss Photogenic.
So, how many of you out there
Nailed it.
believe in total equality between the sexes?
What do you say, Daddy? I'm sorry.
How many of you out there believe in total equality among the sexes?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Definitely.
I
I
think
think people are people. Everybody's the same. I think
everybody
that
talent
that's
and it's about the
that's
individual.
where we are.
I would say.
We've come a long way as a people. I mean, you know, race, color, creed, sexual
Absolutely.
preference, everything else. We
That's
earned
right.
it. We're here.
Don't you
We're at
think that some people
the
are
new
gifted,
frontier.
like each people within a certain background, culture, sex, whatever, they all have
Gifts? Absolutely.
gifted. Yeah, God gifted
Oh,
everybody with
absolutely.
special gifts.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, everybody has their genius. Everybody has. I mean, I wish I could. You're talking about singing. You know, I mean, I could carry a tune, but nothing like I'm going to be going on American Idol or anything. But it's, you know, I wish I had a strong voice to really sing. Oh my God, that'd be insane. You know, when I see people that just, it's just unbelievable what the body can do in that way. You know, so anyway.
So
So what gifts do the men have versus women? And what gifts do
oh,
women have?
I
Let's
don't.
talk
I don't
about
think
that.
there's. Well, I don't think that there's anything you could pinpoint because, you know,
Oh, there has to be something you could pinpoint.
the only
That a
gift,
woman
the only
has,
gift
the
for
gift
each,
that a man has. There has to be.
the only thing that I could honestly think of is making a baby.
Is what?
The male has his role, the woman has their role. They each have their special.
But you
gift
said
from
they're equal, though.
they're not. Well, they're not in that scenario. Well, actually, it's different. They have different instruments, if you
Well,
will.
you know what? They are equal because
They are.
you can't do
You
it
need two to
without the other.
tango. Yeah,
It takes two to make it happen, Danny.
That's right.
So I think that that right there, everything's neutral. One can't do without the other.
That's
You
right.
know?
It's yin and
In
yang.
that regard.
So is it total equality among the sexes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay,
Yeah.
so why? Okay, if I ask the ladies out there to come and join me, and they could load my equipment up in my heavy truck, they can lift my heavy equipment, and I'll hire them. I'll pay them
women out
equally.
there
Of course.
that would take
I
us.
would never not pay them unequal. Would they accept the job, or even worse than working for me? We can set them up in a bucket truck, and they can go up on
You
trees.
have
Take a
a lot of men.
chainsaw, and they can cut limbs off trees, and we'll pay them equal.
Yes.
Would they accept those? How many women out there would accept a job like that?
Well, I think that it's a separate issue, though, right?
It would become preference. You have construction
being
workers.
equal
You
on
have
it.
women going out seeking out construction worker jobs.
Oh,
It's not
yeah.
because they have to. It's because they choose to go into that field. They follow that trade. They want to be the best construction worker, or anything in the world. They have men as nurses. That was always a field where it was expected for women to go in.
That's right.
You have super dynamite male nurses now, and they don't want to become doctors either. They just want to remain nurses.
That's
They
true.
be the best nurse they want to be. You know, you have a lot of men that are, I mean, maybe another man would look over and say they're weak, but everybody has their own strengths, physically, mentally.
I don't think being a nurse is weak at all. I see nothing weak in it.
No, I didn't say that's weak.
But I know you didn't say I didn't say that. But
Oh yeah,
I know
yeah.
you didn't say I said it. But I can't see how a person can think that a male nurse is weak. But it's bizarre. But I
No,
could
it's
see
not
I
weak,
could
I'm
see
saying.
a man saying that a female bucket truck person is not fit to go up in the bucket truck and doing the chainsaws and chopping trees down and stuff like that.
Listen, I was coming out of my complex where I'm living, and all the landscapers there. There was a multitude. There was women that were there. They were doing all the stuff, talking with everything. It's what they do. It's I don't look at it that much. I mean, I know we're doing it on a topic to try and create a conversation, but it's like I think that it's if you could do it, do it. That's the way to do it. I mean, you got so many things that you never would expect. It's just it's what it is.
Apple Crescent says, "I would, don't compare. You sound like segregation." It's a fragmented sentence, but I think what you're saying is that I sound like I'm segregating people. I think that's what you mean. So let's say people are segregated. Let's say people are gifted in the caring and the nurturing of people, right? They go to one department, and let's say the other people are strong and they kind of think like engineering, mathematical, and everything about them is engineering. Okay. There's something called STEMs. I don't even know what that's about. But STEM, I think STEM research and stuff like
stem cell.
And
Yeah, incredible.
and they're in another department. Okay. I don't think it's STEM. I don't know if it's stem cell, but it's called STEM research. It might be.
Yeah,
So you
but
have two different departments. Are you going to put someone in another department who is not going to be able to handle that?
well, no, but that's not. I mean,
what's up, Barb?
That wouldn't be segregation. I mean, are you talking about segregation of human beings, or are you talking about equality?
No, I don't believe in segregation of human
I know
beings.
you don't. I've known
But
you
I
for
believe
40
there's
years.
departments. people are gifted in different departments.
Correct. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think when you see equality, you don't mean equality in its totality. I think you mean equality in a general sense, but not in every aspect.
That's true. That is a good point, buddy. That is a good point. Everybody has their strengths. Like I always say, everybody has their genius, you know, and then you pull it together, you know. So those people in that theory, you would be coming from different aspects and different um I don't know how to even describe. You become from different areas of your strength, you know, and come together and join as one. You know, ideally, I mean, that would be a wonderful thing if we could do it all the
I
time.
love it when females tell me we're equal, right? And then I used to teach in
I love it
school.
when females tell me when I was single that I'm good looking. I love it when females tell me, like my wife tells me when I'm good looking, and she doesn't see that right now because I have this big fat beard that I have to keep for a little while. But anyway,
I used to run the gym department at the high school, in the local high school,
Yeah.
and the girls teams would always complain anytime, even in the young classes too, even in the middle school and the high school.
yeah,
They always complain if it was girls versus boys. They would the biggest complainers were the girls. The boys would be like, "Oh yeah, okay, boys against girls. Yeah, we'll cream them. You know, we'll beat them." And the girls didn't like that. And every class I had, it didn't matter which class. If we had boys against girls, guess who always won?
Girls.
No, in sports, no.
Who was it?
The boys won in sports every time. I didn't cause the boys to win in sports. That's just the nature of being a boy. They're better at sports.
I don't know, but well, it
Boys,
depends.
the
As a
boys are better.
collective, and you do get some gifted girls who become like really fast runners and things like that. But as a whole collective, you can't put boys against the girls because the girls lose. At least were in my experience, from what I've seen, I've tested it. Not everyone out here in the room tested it.
I
No,
beg to
I
differ.
haven't tested.
You know, I think that you know a lot of times you have, and it's because of statements like that. And I'm just gonna say, it empowers people. It makes people do more.
That's
You
right.
know, a lot of times, Danny. You know, when I used to box, it comes from the heart. So when you and for instance, Venus and Serena Williams, prime example. African American sisters who play tennis. The whole thing, it was unprecedented, you know, pretty much for the female for a black female to get out there and do what they've done. And they're out there and they have that eye of the tiger every time they go out there and play because people say they can't do it. You know, I think that anytime you put somebody in and say you can't do it, already you're to unleash the venom. And I think that also um, men tend to uh, sometimes, many times, and I can't lay any blanket statements, sometimes abuse their bodies more than women. Women, they have they mature faster than men. A lot of times, you know, even I listen to our conversations that we have. You know, we're grown. I'm here. You know, a lot of times I even view myself and say, you know, geez, I certainly did have a great childhood. I do a lot and present myself in many ways still, you know, in a kidsy type of way. But I think that, you know, women tend to mature more rapidly because the odds early on, maybe today's women are a little bit different in how they mature, but um, you know, being in this era, I think that women have had to take a more serious role um, towards life because they already had the chips stacked against them. So uh, men tend to feel as though life they're owed certain privileges, and I'm speaking from a sense of a black man, but I can say over top of a woman, you know, that may have been the sense. I never thought about that. I'm just putting it out there now because it kind of makes sense to me. Um, and I've seen my sister progress. I've seen both sisters. I've seen my parents get out there and do their jobs and careers and make moves. And I'm sure you both have great parents, and they've done very well. And the women in your lives have pushed forward, and you've seen examples of them having to persevere. Um, and I think that creates a more rigid backbone, a more sense of pride, a more sense of dignity, more sense of self-worth. And I think that a lot of times men can take things for granted because we feel as though, well, I'm a man, and that's not good. That can weaken you. That can give you a false sense of hope. So when you do get chipped up, you say, why is this happening? And it gives you a sense of human frailty. And I think that, a lot of things that you're saying, are case by case. And, men do have significant roles that they play with regard to a household. And men do have significant roles that they can play with regard to being contributors on the planet. But I think women have the same roles, and I think they have the same possibilities that the men have. I don't think that anything should be different. Is it different? It is. Is it ever going to change and be equal? I hope so. I mean, my viewpoint is that we're equal. Unfortunately, the country and globally, that's not the case.
So, Tommy, can you name some examples of, let's say, women not being equal, being treated unfairly? Can we go over some cases?
Sure. I could say, I could say Wendy. I could say my sister, right off the bat. I've watched her career. I spent most of her early on career right next to her, or when she came back from her first gig, which was out in the Virgin Islands. When she came back, I lived with her. I saw what was going on. I saw that, shock jock radio, that's something that was, Howard Stern cornered the market on that, and then the moment Wendy came in, it was difficult for her. She was just as boisterous as Howard Stern. She didn't have a Robin. Robin had, Howard Stern had a sidekick. She didn't have a sidekick. She was aggressive. She would talk about everybody, no holds barred, and people didn't know how to handle her. They looked at her like she was just, a wild, child coming out. And they would try to, stabilize her and compartmentalize her and tell her that she needed to calm down and things like that. But you know what? At the same time, she was bringing in revenue for the stations, and they couldn't afford to let her go, because if they did, somebody else would snatch her up, and she would go over there and do what she had to do. She wasn't changing. I think there's a lot of people that are out there, a lot of examples of women that go out and do it and hold things down. Absolutely.
So let me ask you:
Look at our vice
weren't there
president
other
now.
people who broke the glass ceiling before, let's say, Wendy did so? Were there other Black women who broke the glass ceiling? You know that expression?
Yeah.
It means from being held back. Who are the other ones who did it before her? Was Wendy really the first one to do it?
Well, Rosa Parks.
Being held back?
You follow history. Let's get some chats going on. I mean, I think that's a very easy question to answer. And let's see, take a look at the chat. Any examples of you said African American?
Oprah Winfrey.
Well, let's take a look. Hey, Sir the Ross, how you doing? I think there's a lot of people. I'm speaking of Wendy because I have Wendy on my mind. She's always given, I think, a great perspective on, where women need to be. Women need to be at the forefront. I think that a lot of times men have egos get in the way. I think that we step on our own feet many times. I think maybe sometimes I'm a reverse chauvinist. I think that men get a little too cocky. We get ourselves out there. We let our egos get in the way of things, and we end up messing things up. We need to have more calming energies and more, mental stabilities at the helms. And many times I think women can provide us with that type of approach and that type of capacity.
Yeah,
But
I
I'd
think
like
we're
to go into
talking
the
about
chat. We have Maurice on, and I think let me do this. Maurice, before I bring you in, we're having a discussion about equality within. Are we not talking about the race yet? We didn't pull the race out, but we're talking about equality within the genders. Question was posed by Danny. I gave an example of Wendy being faced with. Well, Danny, why don't you go ahead and ask that question?
the question I wanted to ask was no, we're talking about. I just wanted to make a comment. We're talking about the same. We're talking about the same subjects, but we're talking about different areas in those subjects.
Yeah.
I was talking about sports teams, and I was talking about dangerous jobs that take a lot of strength that men generally take, and it somehow got shifted to other gifts, other departments like talking. Women are the queens of talk. I mean, if anyone doesn't admit that, I don't know what world they're living in. Women are very good in certain areas. They excel. That's their gift. That's all I'm saying. But the claim thing, let me turn my mic down.
You have to
For
turn your mic down. So
women to
try
claim
putting it on
victimhood,
Maurice.
or for you or anybody to think that women are constantly victims, I think it sends off the wrong signal. It gives them a sense of low self-esteem when they have this victimhood mentality. And when you say, oh, well, you really can't do that because you're a woman, so I'm going to give you extra special chances because you are a woman, because I want to help you. And then it kind of makes them have low self-esteem because you're assuming that they can't do the job properly. I mean, I would take offense if someone said, I'm going to help you because I think you're not as smart as the other people, so I'm going to help you. I would
Danny,
be
we
offended.
have a comment here, and I just want to put it up. China Black made a comment. Let me see. They said you're echoing Danny, and China Black had made the comment. Years ago, only men had talk shows, and you said women do a lot of gossiping. They're good at it, but what if you had Lawrence Welk, you had all those old shows from back in the day, and not only were they men, but also they were white men who were out, and instead of and this was like the industrial period when people were going out there and securing corporate jobs, and you'd find these guys at the top in the helm. You think about the Rockefellers and going out, like you said, and not staying at home and pushing a carriage and doing anything, going out there and and making things happen and using their brains rather than, as you said, use their mouths and the gossip. But at times, there was a time when men were seeking out the positions. You look at the Price is Right and all those game shows and things. You didn't have any females out there doing that, Danny. You had all men. So what do you think about that comment there, made by China Black? Thank you, China Black.
So China Black says that years ago, only men had talk shows.
How you doing, Danny? How you doing, Tommy?
The divorce rates today,
just take your microphone down a little.
also in the United
There's
States,
an echo.
one direction of that China Black gas direction, which way the population is going. So, I mean, everything in moderation. I'm not an extremist, but there was a reason why men
Can you take your
talk shows.
microphone down some, Maurice?
Back in our history,
I took it down.
women
Hold
would
on.
be home and they would be rearing children. They would be married. Hardly anyone was divorced back then, and they would bear children and they would rear them, and the children would grow up to be productive members of society. Now, if you look at society, if you look at our correctional facilities and our what's it called, the well, let's say, yeah, there's another name for it, but they're filled to capacity. And now they're making laws. They're just sending everybody home. They're saying, okay, no bail. We'll let you back out on the street. Just no bail. Come on in. We'll arrest you and go home. And then they get arrested like multiple times. It's going on in New York City. And there's all this crime.
How's that better?
A lot of things with the families. The family's not a traditional family anymore because the women are out there working and they're not home watching their children. Some people might think that's okay, go get the nanny to do it, or something like that, but a kid needs his mother. That's all it comes down to, because the mother's very special. So someone has to raise the child, and the father can't raise the child like the mother, and the child needs the father around as well. Without the father, the child's going to be not functional. And there are cases where the child will be pretty well off. There are some, but not a lot. On the most part, the family comes out dysfunctional, and that's the effect of all these women working, and that's why women didn't work years ago. Those were the reasons. I'm not being an extremist. You know, there's women that need to work. But I'm just saying, why so many? Are any women going to have some children and marry and have a traditional family, or is just every single woman out there going to work? And do they really want to work? You really want to work all those hours? You might say so in your 20s, but then when you're working every day and then you don't have a chance to get married, and then you're 50, what are you going to do? And then you still want that child. What are you going to do? You're going to just take some fertility drugs? I'll let you go.
I'd like to say a little something. Can you hear me? Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. You know, there's a lot of in order to make it in this world today, sometimes it takes two incomes. Sometimes the father may work in the daytime, or the mother may work in the daytime and the father works in the nighttime. You know, they're still pursuing their dreams. I think it's important for people to pursue their dreams. When you don't allow someone to pursue their dreams, they become angry, bitter. You know, not all the time you have, you know, shifts like, you know, the woman works in the day and the father works in the nighttime. But, you know, sometimes, like I said, people pursuing their dreams is important. Our family, the Williams family, Thompson, a lot of the women in our family is very strong-minded, very independent. I think that's where Wendy gets that from. So, I don't know. Our family's pretty tough.
Well, when you go to the majority of prisons, I studied the penitentiary system back in college. I used to visit prisons. I visited women's maximum security prisons. I visited men's maximum security prisons in Florida. Matter of fact, I went to Martin County. I went to Miami-Dade and a couple others. I don't remember the names, but they were really fascinating. But the majority of the people in those systems, unfortunately, were raised by single mothers. So there could be some great single mothers out there, but unfortunately, in general, it's not good, because we see what's happening to the kids. They're winding up in prison.
your headphones.
Grateful for your situation.
Let's try to see if we can. Let's try to figure out the audio before we go any further, guys. Something's
You got any
happening.
headphones?
There's something happening with the audio on here.
You got any headphones?
The audio is shoddy. Let's start by turning our microphones down. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't. It sounded like Danny's mic was crashing slowly. But let's see what's happening. Okay, Danny.
Yeah. Is anyone still getting feedback?
No, you sound great.
But no one has feedback, right?
Now we're good now.
Then if no one has feedback, it was mine. Okay.
What's up, Mikey?
Hey, brother.
What's happening?
What's up? Maurice, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing?
How you doing, bud?
I'm
I
hanging
knew I'd
in
like
there.
you. Any guy with a red shirt on, you know, buddy.
Yeah. Try to dress for the occasion.
That's it. Ferrari right there.
There we go.
So what's the question?
Yeah. We were talking about reversing roles. It all started with women proposing to their fiancés. That's
good by
where
Meg.
our beginning conversation started.
Well, I'm all for whatever works. I think that'd be awesome if there was the role reversal in an instant. I think that's a beautiful thing. You know, imagine your girlfriend proposing to you and I'd be like so like honored. You know, it would reduce a lot of stress on my part. I'll tell you that much.
So when your wife proposes, or when the girl proposes to you, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do? Like, do you start to cry? Is that
it happened? I mean, but when I
No.
proposed,
I'm just asking.
Yeah. Why not?
Do you?
If you love somebody, emotions will flow, right? Doesn't matter,
Right.
guy, girl. Doesn't matter what it is.
No, I'm not knocking. I'm not saying that.
No,
that's
I know you're not. I'm not saying you are.
Yeah. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of, you know, the role reversal. You know.
Oh, you mean
you know.
the purest form? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the girl goes up to the man. The man says, she gets down on her knees, and then you know, the music's playing in the background, and he's holding his face like. I mean, I you know, I don't know. I'm kind of yeah.
I tell you, I remember when I proposed to my wife. This was great. I had my buddy was down here in Atlanta, and I came down and I got the ring, and I came. He was in the jewelry business, so I told Lisa. I said, "Listen, we're gonna go down to Atlanta. We're gonna visit Andy, and you know, he wants us to come down. We're gonna hang out. He's gonna fly us down." I mean, I was taking care of everything, so I got down there. Before I got down, he had a big giant movie room, you know, with the movie seats, big giant, I mean, like 10-foot screening, massive. And so before I left, I made a video on CD at my buddy's house. I had his people, everything. And I said, "Will you marry me?" So we played this movie. I forgot what the movie was. And then it was like an intermission. And when the intermission came, I came on the big giant screen on the movie. And I proposed to her through the movie, and I got on my knee and I said, "Will you marry me?" And it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. It was like being in a giant movie theater. It was just unbelievable. And
I know when I got married, it was crazy because I was super composed the whole night. Like, you know, out we did, you know, then day of, get myself all suited up, booted up, went down the aisle, got in front of my wife, and they pulled the veil back, and I started crying like a doggone baby, man. I was like, I was looking over at my parents. I was like, "Oh shit, what's about to happen?" You know, and And then I look, and then I looked over at my wife again, and everything dried up, man. I was
Yep.
like, everything's gonna be all right, you know.
That's it.
And her face was just, you know, calm and that, and that's what I needed. I needed to see that. It was crazy, and that I really feel as though that was a role reversal. And now, like when I look back, I was like, my face was just like I try to hold back, I was going through it, man. I was like,
It's
and
true,
I was even
though, right?
I was even stockier than I was like, you know, this just wasn't right, man. I tell
But it
you,
was awesome, though. I mean,
it was awesome.
That's the way to do it. But I remember that. Oh my God! I remember I filmed the whole thing, and then and I actually recorded "Wise Men Say" with my buddy Pete Lopez, good DJing, and I sung at the wedding. You remember at the wedding when they played the record, and I was on the record, and I had my hands with Lisa, and I was singing "Wise Men Say" Elvis because I could imitate it. Yeah. So that was it. That was a good wedding. Let's see. Reality Doll.
I like what Reality said. Read Reality Doll's comment.
Men want what they don't want. Real men would ask for their hand in marriage first. Weak men or men with little to offer. Wait, what? Can't even see
See
it.
what I'm saying? So he or she, I don't know who it is, they believe the man should ask the woman and not the woman ask the man. I think that's what you're saying, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Men want what they don't want? What do you mean by that, Reality Doll? A real man would ask for the hand in marriage first. A weak man or men with little to offer or insecurity issues need this. I don't understand that, but what are we referring to? Please elaborate more, Reality Doll. Love to hear it.
That's funny.
It sounds pretty traditional.
I never want to be married. That's okay. Not everybody's made for it, and not everybody wants it. That's cool.
China Black. Hey.
It's whatever makes you happy at the end of the day, right? Who are we to judge you? You know, it's not for us. We're here to accept, not judge. That's just my thought. So.
That's why they say, but I know what a man is.
But I know what a man is. I know what a man is. What? Single mothers cannot teach a young boy to be a man without a mentor.
But who's the mentor supposed to really be, though? Who is the mentor really supposed to be?
Yeah, but I don't.
The mentor is supposed to be a man that can be able to teach their son how to tie a knot in different ways. You know, a mentor is someone to teach a young boy how to survive in the outside, the wilderness, to not be afraid of different things. You know.
A mentor. I was in Scouts. Remember, we were in Scouts, Mike. We had Miss
Mr. Buck and Mr. Dietz and Mr.
Yeah, but then
Corbin.
We had
Mrs.
Mrs.
We used to take his Honda and we used to pull it up on the lawn.
Yeah, but then we have Mrs. Corbin was doing a lot too, or somebody. No. Somebody was doing something. Yeah, Mr. Corbin, I guess it was.
You remember? All right, so we had Mr. Corbin, right? He was a retired police officer.
Yeah, I know, but I was just trying to get at.
Oh,
you know, you have women who are mentors too, though. I'm saying a mentor is a person who helps, who assists, who guides you through your journey, shows you things, you know, illustrates for you, you know that takes you through the journey. I don't think it's going to be Mr. Man. I think it could be anybody, you know.
Tommy, let me ask you: did your dad mentor you?
Absolutely, he's a role model.
Can you tell us how he mentored you, all the wonderful ways he did so?
My dad. Well,
Dad. Oh my God, he's a mentor to everybody.
He's
anyway, second father.
Anybody? Well, Maurice said tie. He showed me how to cook, quick meals. showed me how to drive. He still showed me everything, how to tie a shoe. Uh, Showed me how to play a kazoo.
Did he teach you how to drive
Showed
stick?
showed you how to fight, probably.
Hmm?
Did he show you
Nobody
how
taught
to?
Daddy
He
taught
showed me how to box. Showed me how to box. Yeah, got me started in it.
Who,
So I
Maurice or
mean,
Dad? Dad got you
yeah, but
started.
there's the man. My mother was also quite the mentor. My mother, she showed me how to do a lot of things as well. What did my mother show me how to do? Hey, my mother taught me responsibility. She put the
He did
R
not
of
play, let me
responsibility
tell
for
you.
me. She taught me how to speak up. My mother did. You know, she taught me how to speak up. She gave me my voice. She gave me my voice. My dad gave me the physical. My mother gave me the mental. I can say that. And my father, or he gave me the vernacular. But my mother gave me the thought process that goes along with it. When to speak it, when not to speak it.
That's interesting because your dad's one of the most highly educated people out there.
Well,
You would figure
both my
I would
parents,
figure he would be very verbal as well.
he is very verbal, but he also he taught me how to, and you see I have a very strong wife. She's very aggressive, very strong, very witty. Um, and there's and I'm an alpha male, but there's a lot of times that I sit back, and that's what my father showed me. My father showed me, hey, sit back. My father was a Renaissance man. My father was way ahead of his time. My mother, do whatever she wanted to do. He didn't put a chokehold on anything, and I learned that from him. Now, there's times that I wish I could learn more, and I'm not done learning from him. 9 years old, I'm blessed, but I mean, I definitely got the ability to say what's on my mind, speak up from my mother. A lot of times, my father, he was very, like you said, they're very literary, things of that nature, very mild mannered. My mother's more, assertive. You know, my father picked and chose. And that's what he did. That's what he still does. Picks and chooses. He's very observant. When he has something to say, the world gets quiet. And Mikey, he doesn't see the man as very little words, but when he says something,
That is
you know,
like, yeah, no. Growing up, I mean, but if he had something to say to you, you stopped in your tracks.
yeah,
Not 1 inch, not 1 cent. You didn't even blink. And it was like that with, my father was the same.
yeah.
My dad, oh my God. The difference is my father was a little bit more of a hair trigger. But it just, no way. I mean, but like my mother, quiet one. She's the one who gave me confidence, conditional love. I mean, just always encouraging, always positive, always the positive vibe with my mom. She loved everybody, You guys knew her. And Maurice, if you know her, you'd love her too. She loved everybody. She really.
So a mentor definitely helps a lot of children out there. They need mentors, and it's a positive thing. But what's better, having a mentor or having an active father around?
Yeah, I agree. Wait, Dan, I like kind of
Well,
black thing. I
I'd
agree
like
with her.
to.
You don't
I
need to
want.
have a guy. I honest to God, I don't believe you need to have a man around for a young boy to turn into a quality adult. Would it be
Well,
better? Maybe, maybe not. All depends on the individual, right? You know.
well, my father died when I was 3 years old,
Oh shit! I'm sorry, buddy.
and my mother had to take the reins at a certain point in
Yep.
time. Um, and what she did for me is, I didn't have that father figure, so she put me in places that would keep me around men. She sent me to schools in Brooklyn. This one school was called Uhuru Sasa. It's a Freedom Now school, and in that school we were taught about our culture. We were taught martial arts. I was marching at a young age, a very, very young age, in Brooklyn when the Koreans were shooting, I guess, shooting some of the people in Brooklyn, the kids, for stealing, and there were a lot of marches. Um, I had a chance to date Malcolm X's daughter.
Wow, what was that like? I mean, like the history, that's unbelievable. I mean, what were the stories? Any just like that blows my mind, really.
Yeah. So, and I also was connected with Gil Noble. I don't know if you know Gil Noble. He had a channel on a show called Like It Is, and that's why I have my show called Like It Really Is, because it's like a kind of it's kind of similar. But yeah, so my mother put me in martial arts school at the young age of 8, and I had to learn how to fight and defend myself, because every time I went to this karate school, they made you fight.
It's in the chat, Eric.
So, I learned from the school of hard knocks, and so is a father needed? Yeah, father is needed. A lot of people, and I love my mother for her effort in raising me. Like Tommy said, our mothers teach us how to express ourselves and have that confidence. So yeah, having a mentor. And see, from that point, from when I was going to that school, I went on to start teaching karate. I went to karate school and teaching karate and doing things for the community, doing things for other people. So at a young age of 18, 19, I had my own karate school.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, and I also was a swim instructor for the community in Yonkers. And when I went my mother sent us away to camp every year. So we really didn't have that. We didn't stay in the environment of the Bronx, in the summertime where it was really deadly. So just going back to what you guys are saying, having a mentor is important. But see, here's the twist. I found myself doing more for others than for myself. I don't know if that makes sense. I found myself doing more for others because of how I was raised. And I felt like God put me here to help other people. And for many, many years, I have newspaper articles, write-ups of all the things I've done from years ago. And my blessing is when these people come back to me and they say, thank you.
Yep.
For what you've done for me. And that is that's what keeps me alive. So having a mentor is important. Sometimes you are the mentor.
It's true.
Sometimes you are the mentor, the person with the gift, and you don't know it.
That is very profound, actually, that you made that statement, because it is the truth. And, we all have our attributes of giving, and, they always say it's right underneath your nose, right? You just don't even realize it. And all of a sudden, here you are, and you're making a change in someone's life that you literally have no clue that you're even doing it just by being you, And that's pretty good. What's up, Smiles? What are you doing?
Man.
I gotta tell you though. All right, on a lighthearted subject.
Hey, Eric, I have a link in
like Big T, Mr. Williams Senior, because he had glass. Tommy, you remember your dad's glasses? He used to have like those with Maurice in the 70s. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh,
I'm
boy,
like,
here
holy
we
shit!
go.
I'm like, he looks like vintage '73 going on over here.
Yeah.
1973, I mean. You know.
So
But
Eric
that's
Ruffin,
something-
I put it, and everybody, I put, I told you some time ago, this is a good topic. Anybody wants to come in, I put the link into the chat, so you want to, come in, whatever have you. You don't necessarily have to put your face up. I can go ahead and set it up where you just come up with audio, or I can pull up your picture, or I could just put up the audio. But you're welcome, folks, to pop in, and I'll see you when you come in. All you do is click the link, and also put in the chat whether or not you want to come up all the way or just your audio.
Apple Crescent saying very true, because Maurice, you're a healer. And don't worry about it, everybody. You want it to be a positive outcome, and you're doing your part. If all of us did our part, we'd have no issues here. How great would that be?
Have you ever felt the pain of the world?
Me, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think the pain of the world. No, I wouldn't allow that to absorb. It would kill you, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, if you had all the suffering, it would be too much for me.
It'd be a lot, right?
It would be too much for me, because I want to love everybody. It would be too much heartache. I wouldn't handle it.
Well, when you're doing stuff like that and you're mentoring people, you're not only taking on your situation.
Yes.
You're kind of taking on the pain of the world.
That's very profound. I mean,
I just want to just say one thing to everyone in the chat room. I was waving to say hello to you. Hello, Apple Crescent. Hello, Zamila. Hello, Beverly. Hello, China Doll, China, and everyone else in the chat room. I can't see everybody, but I hope I hit everybody and got everybody. Thank you so much.
And
we have those comments.
We have a comment here
from Beverly.
Mm-hmm.
My ex-husband is black, and he was never around to help at all with our son. No child support paid either. Our son's now 23 and a mathematician upstate New York here.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's amazing.
My question is, Beverly, do you think that his being black has something to do with him not being around? Because I noticed you had mentioned his in capital letter, black. So for conversation, black cited for a reason as to why he wasn't around?
Well, I just also want to add to that too as well, with the comment that she said. Here's the thing. A lot of people don't even know how to be a father.
That's true.
Okay? Some people don't even know how to be a father. And then there's some people that jump right into it and they adapt. I'm not making any excuses for anybody. Things happen.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, we have Eric Ruffin who's coming in. He wants to say a word or two. And
is he related to David Ruffin?
What do I wish? Good evening, everyone. How's it going?
Good evening, Eric.
How you doing, Eric?
All right. Well,
Eric, aren't you going to get on? Let's see that good-looking face of yours. Come on.
Well, the reason why is because I'm unshaven. See,
you're unshaven. I've been unshaven for quite a while, actually.
Yeah, but you look good. See, I'm on dialysis, and so mine is from being lazy. So I sort of feel like darn, I really should have gotten up. I really should have gotten up early and shaved. But yeah, it's nighttime now, so I just wanted to make a few comments. I see that was it Dan who was also there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gone right now. But I was really wanting to say something to him, and I still have more to say, I guess.
Yeah,
but,
let me see if I can pull him up, get him.
You go ahead.
Go right ahead, Eric.
Dealing with fathers and mothers and everything. I had just come in on Mr. Williams is last second, third thing with both parents. And I think mothers and fathers are there and they do the best they can overall. But I agree with that. But my thing is that there was an argument earlier that fathers aren't really or maybe aren't equipped to be parents. And I think God knew what He was doing when He put uh, male and female as parents. I don't think uh, either one of us, should be over anyone. We're both there as workmates to help each other and to do what we can for each other. And my situation, and I jump around a lot, so sorry for that. But my situation was that I married a young lady who had a business degree, and it was just a bachelor, but it took her from making 34,000 to 150,000. Well, we were in our 30s, and my 30,000 wasn't catching up with that at all. So everyone would say to me, "Well, why are you staying home taking care of the kids?" Uh, you have to be stupid to want to live on 30,000 for me to live on 150. And it's just not my wanting to, but for my family. For all of us. If we can all have better, why not? And so, but sometimes, there are reasons that people don't want to look at, don't understand. They think the man is either lazy or he's trying to get over. No, I'm a man that is willing to work. I had the a degree in speed science, but it wasn't moving quick enough. And just so happened that she found this job and was making a nice bundle of money. And we did what was good for the family, and that was for me to stay home and raise the kids. I enjoyed it. I don't know if the kids did or not because I was the harder parent.
One thing that I always wonder in my mind is why money changes people. You know, why does money change people? Why do people change because of money? Because if you're making 100,000, I'm making 30,000. We're in this together. Why are we shouldn't treat each other differently because we make more money. And it's a great thing that you took care of the kids, and you stayed home, and it felt good. But we're in a society that money changes people. uh, I don't know, but that's what I think.
Well, I sort of agree, I definitely agree with you, Mr. Williams, that money in negative ways, especially, changes. But if you're doing it to support your family, to do better for your family, then I can see where it's all good. We were, living paycheck to paycheck. Uh, we were putting out $9,000 a piece for the two kids, so that's almost 40,000. And so we needed a way out of this. And the way out was when she found that job that gave her 150,000. To me, I see it as a blessing. It didn't change us from going from beans and cornbread to steak every night. It didn't change us from driving that Toyota car from getting into all of this luxury business and all of that. It gave us the reason to now get into a better neighborhood, to get get ourselves together to where now I'm at home. I can take care of the kids, the laundry, the yard work, everything else. You have that person support.
Does he treat you differently at any time?
Well,
And let me just say, does he treat you differently? And when if he does treat you differently, how do you feel when she treats you differently? Like, do you feel kind of affected by some things that she says to you?
well, no, I noticed that most of my friends were treating me differently. Most of her friends were trying to get on to what you're saying, to, God, how can your husband stay at home take care of the kids, what's wrong with them, so on and so forth. So yeah, I can see where society wants to play that game, and
Right,
but
and
there are characters out there where that's not happening. If you're doing your job, because if it were reversed, then why isn't it accepted as reversed? Is it man that has made this rule? Did God make it? I certainly don't think it's something made by God. You know, who's going to give themselves less or their families less once more when you have something better, especially in these days, or actually in any days, to where it makes for a better economic situation.
yeah, there's a big stereotype, um, in the world today.
Yes, and I know the one you're speaking of because yeah, I lived that with many of my friends telling me that I just wanted to be taken care of by a woman, but once more, before the change happened, I was taking care of her, and I still feel like I was taking care of her. I was the one, uh, secret be told, not that I was smarter because I was male, but just because Deb liked to spend a lot of money. Deb liked to do many of things uh, that would sort of put us in traps. And I was always the one who had to come and say, okay, let's do this and do that. We'll get out of this. Let's try to move in this direction.
But
And
do
that was try. We did
but
it all the time.
at any time, and I actually before I don't know if you answered me, but at any time in your relationship, has she talked to you in an aggressive way or kind of looking down on you? Has she ever talked to you like that?
Let's see. I'm sure there were a few, but it wasn't because of job, even though we could say it was job, and and I had my blinders on and I didn't see that. But looking back, I mean, there were times that you get angry, and I would say, hey, I really don't think we should spend money on that because we don't have enough money to take the kids to Disney World and so on and so forth. So let's look at 6 months or so and then do it. Yeah, there were times probably that she might have said, not in a direct way, but you know, who's making the money, buddy? Well,
Do you
so there was a line that I'd come back with, that was probably, you know, the same, or putting things into perspective, and that's as much as I'll say. Because we have a choice in life. We can either go along with that type of talk, or we can try and work it out to a degree where we get that understanding then that we're doing this because you know this is the one that the situation we're winning with, for lack of better words, and it is working out for us, keeping the kids in their schools and so on and so forth. And there was one that wasn't. And also another issue with us is we didn't just live anywhere. We did have to find a middle of the road place to live. It was a mixed marriage.
so is it are we clear to say that it's a difficult position when a man stays home and does what the woman does? It's a difficult position for a man to take that position. And the second part is, what happens to the man when you pull the rug from underneath his feet?
I don't look at it that way. I'm sorry. I,
No,
I, uh, or maybe
no,
I was never.
it's just a question. I'm just having conversation with you.
I understand that I'm having a conversation back, and I'm just letting you know that I don't agree with it. Uh, I think it's old-fashioned, silly talk. And I think what we ought to do as people is start accepting new ideas. Like White Castle says, think out of the box. So many of us are stuck within this, one place that everything has to be done out of this box. You know what that? You know what that? Whatever works for that family, whatever works for that person, whatever works for that marriage is
That's
how it
right.
should be.
Right, but
So I'm sorry, I just don't never agreed with that. And then another issue was with my learning. All men aren't raised equally. And we're just going to say men right now. And I'm going to give
right,
you a lot about myself because I'm 60. hey, I have nothing to be embarrassed about. But I couldn't read at the age of, well, early on, I was having problems with reading and learning. I went to a special school for the retarded, which meant that I didn't get a whole lot of education. When I was 18, I was, the speaking was just beautiful. I was knocking words out of the park. I had people saying I thought you were a bachelor's, earner or such kind of that, and it just wasn't true. I graduated with probably a first grade spelling, maybe fourth, I don't know. And when I met my wife, I wanted to know, why are you interested in me? And so she told me the attributes that she found, that she liked about me, and I told her what I liked about her. And so I'm saying all that to say that once more, we're not all equal. So sometimes a man is going to have the lesser job, and the woman is going to have that bigger job because she has more education. So are you saying to me, because of that, the family must suffer?
No.
No, one thing, the family shouldn't suffer, and I'm going to make this really short. But I think that respect is the most important thing when it comes down to, these kind of situations, and you have to respect the other person, and that means not throwing stuff in their face, um, because whether we realize it or not, that can be very, very hurtful, for a man to sit back and you're not, you don't have a lot to offer, but you have these things, these words thrown at you. I think as a team, if you're making more money, why don't you take some of that money and give it to your husband and say, listen, open up a business, and allow him to open up a business. It's for the family, it's for us. Let's even out the plane, and let's, I don't know, what do you guys think?
I like that.
I like the idea. I like the idea. Right. And believe it or not, that was talked about in our early days. One of her aunts who had money, and she was in the millions, had lunch with us downtown Chicago, and talked with us and said, Deb, it would be a great idea for you to send Eric to, I think it was, well, for lack of a better word, a school for architectural degree and that sort of thing. And I was on hold for it. I said I'll probably have problems with math, but if I could get a tutor or get a master through it, that'll be a good thing. And so, yeah, I found out about my wife then that she wasn't sure how long we were actually going to be together, because she said at that time no. And we talked about it, and the answer was always no, and then started to be that we're not going to talk about it. And so I said, okay, well, we still have love. I'll keep my job, working at the factory and making the money I'm making. And she kept hers. It changed out to where she made the money. And like I said, those occasions where you're saying, was that ever a possibility of her putting me down? I'm sure there were questions in their mind. And like I said, when I thought that things were going that way, we definitely had to sit down and talk about it. Because I might be not as learned as my mother used to say, as the other person, but I'm not stupid. I knew
Correct.
what was going on, so on and so forth. So it was discussed, and we were back on track. But I mean, she wouldn't be human if she didn't go like, wait a second, all the other girls are getting this, that, and the other, and I'm not. I mean, so I don't know. I think it could go on either side.
I agree with you.
Mic check, mic check. Just want to let you all know I'm getting ready to close things out. I have to get up and do my run at 5 in the morning. Excuse me, 5 o'clock
All
in the
right.
morning.
Got me beat. I gotta get up 6:30 a.m.
I've been trying to work technology on my end, and I was realizing that my top monitor was putting up the chats, and I was looking at the wrong stuff. But it's all in progress. I think this has been a fantastic time. Thank you so much, Beverly.
Thank you, Eric.
Don't Don't lose any more weight. Beverly says, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Beverly,
Eric.
I'm actually shaving around 200 pounds and 6 feet. So you know, I'm trying to bring it back down, and thank you so much. To appreciate that. I've been working hard, and thanks for telling me that you see the difference. I've been doing a different diet. Lots of berries and stuff.
You need some water.
Yeah, well, go get me some.
Thank you guys for having me. I really respect all of you, and nice talking with you.
And
Nice talking with you too.
Your dialysis goes well, and you know we wish you all the best, baby.
Wish you the best,
Oh,
definitely. Take care, Eric.
Thank you. All right,
All right,
thank you. Good night.
Thank you for the question.
We actually had Eric on, which was super. Eric, thanks for coming on. This is an example of what we want to have done. We want the gentlemen actually to get a chance to, you know, come to the forefront. I was thinking that we have so few in the chat, but it's nice to know that we have a good man that stepped up, and Eric Ruffin. Eric, I've seen you on here before, and I thank you so much. Eric, do me a favor. Why don't you go and check out
Good night, Zamila.
some of the merchandise that we have representing. It'd be great if you can be kind of one of our billboards out there in your community and let people know that this is a platform for everybody. Very, very equal. We're all equal here. So we got a lot of perspectives, but I think all in all, we said our piece. I really appreciate Danny. Thank you very much for coming on. We had a chat actually prior to this conversation, and you know I really do appreciate you and your stance, and much respect to everybody and your viewpoints on how we feel about the genders, how we feel about cultural differences and similarities and all that and everything. Thank you so much again, China Black. Thank you very much, Beverly, for your comments.
I appreciate everyone's viewpoint.
I saw you a lot of chat, Beverly, tonight. I appreciate your speaking up and your perspective on things. And who else? Apple Crescent, as always. Oh, China Black, super job. T. Williams, all about love and respect, like that. Zamela, I don't know if you're still on, but thank you as always for coming on. Beverly, thanks again. I keep on going back to that comment about the weight. I'm going to run extra hard tomorrow just for that and try to shave down a couple more pounds just for you. Let's see what else we got here. Well, we got some good ones in here. I don't want to go too far up and and go all into it, but I will tell you this, fellas, super job.
Thanks,
you're looking at a representation of the man amongst men. You know, here we are, each one of us, a man amongst men, and we face.
Trying to do our best.
We face the music, and we face the questions tonight. And I think we did a fantastic job. This is a good one, an fine example of a panel discussion. You see, I didn't doze off. I've been trying to work the boards over here steadily, and it was nice to have again Eric on here. Eric, it looks like you're still on. What do you have to say about all that?
I say it's great, and
thank you, Eric. You're all right.
I'm hoping that Danny can write some music for a song for me.
Yeah, you got. Hey, listen, Eric, you need to. And one of these days, you're gonna shave and come on here. We're not gonna take no for an answer.
Yeah, come on.
You better believe it. You better believe it. I have to.
Very good. And as always, wishing you the best of health and all the best to you, your wife, and your family, man. You take care, stay blessed, and stay strong and committed to what you believe in, man. You're great.
Take care, Apple Crescent.
Amen.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
Drive your passion, everybody. Drive that passion.
Let's get out there and kick Hump Day in the butt.
Let's do it.
Get out there and kick Hump Day in the hump.
Do the hump.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Right?
I'm gonna work on that bump.
That's it.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, everyone.
All right,
Goodbye.
love to everybody.
10-4.
We'll see you soon.